back to another recap of Insecure Season 4. Right now we are on episode 9, right before the big finale. Episode 9 opens up with Issa and Lawrence, their little montage of them making love, bonding, it looks like they're trying to make things work, and I was so excited to see that. At first I was wondering, damn, is this a dream? But it was actually a reality of the show. They are trying to make things work. Some of us don't agree with that. Some of us are super excited about it and optimistic. I'm one of those optimistic people, but I'm also afraid that somebody's gonna mess up. Issa is trying to start whatever they're doing. She's trying to start it off with honesty. And she tells Lawrence that she offered to help Nathan move. This is the first time Lawrence is ever hearing about a Nathan. They really never defined what is it that they are doing. All Lawrence said was,
"What do you want it to be?"
When Issa asked, what are we doing? We do find out, though, that Lawrence did end things with Condola. Is that the last we are going to see of Condola? I don't know. I feel like it's the end, but I have a couple friends who think that Condola might be coming back. Can they really define it right now, Issa and Lawrence? Can they really define what the relationship is? Right now, Lawrence is in an interview process in San Francisco that's going very well right now. I mean, what's Issa gonna do? Follow him to San Francisco? Is she gonna follow that rice-a-roni to San Francisco so she can have her treat all day, every day? And now Molly finally decides to go back to her therapist. Thank you, Molly. Finally, that's the first step. Her therapist is trying to help her realize how much do you want to mend this relationship with Issa? Like, how much do you want to work for it? Are you just stuck on being right, or do you want to mend the relationship? Because there's some things that Molly's right about, and there's some things that Issa's right about, and then there's some things that they're both wrong about when it comes to each other. Is Molly willing to put in the work? Like her therapist said, is she willing to put in the work? She's all about proving she's right. And there's a lot of people that are like that. That's why I think Molly's a Sagittarius, man. I'm sorry. I think she's a Sag. She's more about proving that she's right than even seeing her side of it and meeting someone halfway. Like Andrew was trying to say, meet us halfway. Can you do a Fergie for me? And meet me halfway? Meet me halfway. Right at the borderline where I'm gonna wait for you.
I'll be looking out night and day. Put my heart to the limit, and this is where I'll stay.
But can you do that? Come on. Molly is definitely gonna have to work on seeing her faults and coming down from her pedestal a little bit. Letting that ego down. It's not always worth proving that you're right. And Molly and Issa finally see each other this episode. I'm feeling some type of way that Issa actually reached out to Molly first. I was hoping she would have waited for Molly to reach out to her if that ever was going to happen. But we see who really cares about this relationship and trying to make it work, which I think Issa definitely cares about it more. They meet for brunch, but the brunch was kind of weird. It seems like during brunch, all they did was beat around the bush. It was just horrible communication.
Child's work.
Ladies, you guys are of age in your 30s, right? Early 30s. Y'all should be able to communicate, but maybe that is still a problem for people even in their 30s. I did think it was cute that they had a little nickname for light skin mimosas, a little light on the OJ. I've never heard that before, so that was nice. I think I do that a lot. More Prosecco than OJ, please. Issa caught Molly up on some things that have happened to her since they've been away from each other, like the PG County girls who dined and dashed on her. And I really didn't appreciate Issa saying,
never trust East Coast hoes.
First off, don't be putting all of us East Coast girls in one category. Do not generalize us, all right? Don't generalize us just because you got played by peachy county girls. Somebody should have warned you. And one thing you can say about us East Coast girls, we have each other's back. And when it comes to expressing our feelings about each other, we're very blunt and we tell it like it is. And we're usually very real with each other, unlike that phony brunch that you and Molly were having. So we would have got straight to business. Like, what's good? Molly, what's good? While we're eating. Okay, yes, we will be having an angry brunch. The food will be good, but the conversation will be kind of crazy. But we still will be letting it all out. Issa, just because you paid for the lunch does not mean that you guys have made up. There's things that need to be said. You cannot fix everything with food. A lot of things you can fix with food, but not everything. Not fighting words, man. Okay? And Issa, when she ended up talking to Lawrence about the brunch, she was totally oblivious about how bad the brunch actually went with Molly.
It went really well.
I guess like she was super optimistic because of how well things were going with Lawrence, you know? Like that was something that seemed impossible to happen for them to get back together after she cheated. Like, wow. When Issa was helping Nathan out, she was being so weird, bro.
So, what's new with you, bruh?
She was being so weird before she actually told him about getting back with Lawrence. Like the way she was rehearsing how to say hi to him. And then out of all the ways she rehearsed how to say hi, she came up with,
My nigga!
I mean, anything but that, Issa. Damn, like, really? I must say, though, in this scene, like, I'm not really for Nathan in terms of attraction. He just doesn't do it for me. But in that scene, when he was all up in her face, with those eyes, and that voice.
I earned it.
Yeah. I could see how somebody could get hooked on that. I could see how she was being weird and trying to avoid that sexual tension because he was putting it on. But I really do think they just need to be friends. I love how they interact with each other and they're able to talk about things and be open and then just move on to the next thing. And I guess that's good in a relationship, but I don't judge like him being bipolar, but it just is another issue that she would have to deal with in a relationship. What if he goes missing again? Like these are concerns that you can understand she would be worried about in a relationship. Anyone would be. I do like him though. He does have a good heart. I still predict that there's going to be some type of weird, awkward love triangle between Nathan, Lawrence, and Issa. I do. For Nathan to call Lawrence sometimey was like the pot calling the kettle black. So I can see why Issa was in a defense mode when he said that, because it's like, wow, you're being kind of hypocritical. Like when we were doing our thing, you went missing. Nobody could find you.
Yeah, at least he knows how to use his words and doesn't disappear.
But then he came out with like he was bipolar. And I already felt like we knew that. And I guess I knew that even though they never announced that, okay, Nathan is bipolar. I still felt like we already knew what was going on. Because I was just seeing all those symptoms. Depression, and you can't find him. And I know he's probably feeling bad for running out on Issa, and now it's like too late because now she's trying to start something with Lawrence, and I can tell Nathan was looking forward to him and Issa knowing each other again and starting over. But, you know, honestly, persistence is key, man. Nathan, if I was his boy, I would be like, don't give up. You should respect the relationship, but definitely remain in her life. And then when did Molly and Andrew start living together? So Nathan's no longer Andrew's roommate because Molly and Andrew are trying to live together now. And honestly, like, I hope Molly didn't give up her apartment because it was cute. It was so sexy. Did you see that view? Ceiling to floor windows. I hope you didn't give that up. And after the whole brunch with Issa, Molly goes and talks about it with her man, Andrew, and he suggested to meet Issa halfway. If Issa didn't start the conversation at brunch, maybe Molly should have started the conversation at brunch. It just goes back to what her therapist was saying. How much is she willing to fight for this relationship? How much effort is she willing to put into it? And even when it comes to like just giving in and meeting someone halfway, Andrew is trying to have Victor, his brother, and Molly make amends. Victor invites Molly and Andrew to a basketball game, right? Obviously, Victor's trying to extend this olive branch and wants to make amends. You're living with Andrew, so obviously you're trying to be a part of the family. You guys have to get along, whether you like him or not. You need to find a way to like him and get along if you're trying to make this work with Andrew. And if someone is giving me free tickets to see Kawhi Leonard, come on, son. That's your celebrity crush? Like, why not? She really was stubborn with that. And yeah, like Andrew had to ask, like,
are you just never going to see him again? I mean, he's my brother.
It's just little stuff like that which kind of makes you think about what Issa said in their argument at the block party. And she was like, girl, if you lose Andrew, it ain't going to be because of me, boo-boo. It's going to be because of you, okay? You're your own worst enemy. You can even tell that Andrew felt some type of way when Molly came back with takeout. That wasn't the initial place that they agreed upon. Like, he wanted takeout from this Indian spot. But just because she didn't like the naan bread, she was like, hell nah. But you can tell they didn't even discuss that. She didn't even call him to say, hey babe, like, I really don't want to go to this Indian spot and get takeout because I didn't like their naan bread. Can we get something else from a different place? Or do you want me to go there to the Indian spot and get what you want and then I can get something different? No compromisation whatsoever. Little stuff like that is what can make a huge difference in a relationship. You didn't even call me to ask me for my opinion in terms of what I wanted to eat. Like, you didn't even care. It was about you. Because you didn't like the naan bread, something so small on the menu. That stuff, that I'm telling you, in relationships, that stuff builds up. And then what really pissed me off is how Molly was trying to use Issa and Nathan coming over as a way to show that she is a person that can try. See? Even though she's not trying with Victor, she's trying with Issa. Initially, Molly did not want to play the celebrity height game, but when Andrew rubbed her arm, you know, that little nonverbal communication saying, come on, babe, give in a little bit for me. She's like, okay, let's do it. And so he walks away to get another bottle of wine that she actually suggested, which was also good. He liked that coming from her. And he walks away and looks back at her and gives her this little wink, you know? I thought that was so sexy, by the way. The way you're acting is so attractive to me. I'm gonna tear you up afterward. That's the look he was giving her. Like, that was a sign right there that, yes, you're turning him on, the way you're acting, how nice you're being, the way you are trying. You didn't have to send him a text message and say, see, I'm trying with her. That's some submissive crap. It was submissive crap that he wasn't even asking for. He sees you're trying. That's why he winked at you like he was ready to, you know, do a little something. And that's what you really get. Because you did all that, you ended up texting Issa by accident.
That's what you get for doing too much. You're doing too much, man.
And when Issa saw that text message, after that, all the phoniness, the fake ha ha ha, he's, all that just blew up and it was done. You know, like, you can't come back from that. Issa stormed out and they finally try to get stuff off their chest when they're outside. Issa said,
but I can't be the only one who wants to make this work, Molly.
To Molly, the situation is bigger than the block party. And it seems like at this point, Molly rather not see her faults. She'd rather not even explain why she's mad at Issa. Instead, she would rather just give up on the relationship altogether.
I don't know, maybe who you are now and who I am now don't fit anymore.
Okay.
If I was Issa at this point, I would say, all right, I'm done too, and wipe my hands of it. Like, at least for now. I would stop stressing it. And you can see Molly's like, really?
Okay.
Like, as if she wants Issa to keep begging and working and being desperate. You don't need to be desperate for anyone's friendship. If someone doesn't want to make it work with you, then yeah, you have to stop trying at a certain point. When you can do all you can do, at that point, you just stand. live and let God. I don't know what's going to happen in this finale. Is this the end of Molly and Issa? And is this the beginning of Issa and Lawrence? Or is it the beginning of Issa and Nathan? Or are they just going to be in a throuple? Who knows? But we'll see what happens in the finale. I'm looking forward to it. But until next time.